Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to talk about breastfeeding slash pumping essentials, or what I did to increase my milk supply. At this point I am a little over 2 weeks postpartum. So I'm just gonna get started from what I was doing during pregnancy. So during pregnancy, of course you're supposed to stay hydrated. So I drank as much water as I could. Some days were easier than others. And I believe before I was pregnant, I read a post about how to increase milk supply, and the number one thing on there was body armor. And so during the pregnancy, I was drinking one body armor a day, not every single day, but I would have one a day. And I just knew I wanted to make sure I was hydrated and in preparation for when it was time for me to start breastfeeding. So immediately when we got into our new room after delivery, I asked for the pump so that I could begin my pumping process, because with her being on the magnesium, she was super drowsy, she was so tired, it was kind of hard to get her to latch. So I started pumping, and I was producing a couple of milliliters of colostrum, maybe 5 mLs at a time, or I think maybe it started off at 2. But yeah, while I was in the hospital, I got the pump from them, I got the supplies, and I was pumping strictly every 3 hours because I knew baby girl needed to eat. Granted, her little tummy was so tiny at that point, but I knew that in order for my body to want to produce milk, I was gonna have to mimic her breastfeeding, her latching. So usually, newborns, they eat every 2 to 3 hours, and I didn't want to overdo it with the pumping, so I stuck to strictly every 3 hours I pumped. And yes, I was waking up in the middle of the night to pump, and your girl was sleepy, but I did what I had to do. So by the time we left the hospital, 4 days later, I was producing 20 mLs each pumping session for her, and that was super amazing. So I believe 60 mLs is actually 1 ounce. So, it wasn't that much, but like I said, her tummy was little at that point, so 20 mLs was perfect. I noticed the very last day before I left that my milk started to change from that yellow golden color to the opaque milk looking color. And as soon as I got home and I did my first pumping session, I believe I got 4 ounces out of that pumping session, and I was just so overjoyed. I was like, yes, my milk is here and it is coming in. And I just stuck with my same regimen of just drinking water. Oh yeah, and while I was in the hospital, the nurses are there, they ask you, do you need anything? Utilize them. I did. I asked for ice, I asked for water, I asked for apple juice. I drank as much as I could while I was there, because I knew hydration was absolute key. So yeah, when I got home, I just stuck with drinking my water. I had already had my body armor in the refrigerator, so I think as soon as I got home, I cracked open one. And I would just drink 1 or 2 of those a day. I have the small ones, so I would have 1 or 2 of those a day. And yeah, I just kept up with that, and over the days, my milk just got increasingly better. I will say what I did while pumping was, okay, someone wants to join. I will say what I did while pumping helped tremendously. So I noticed that I would get this tingling sensation, and it is not the best feeling ever, but I know it's my milk pouring in. So whenever I would feel that happening, it would kind of I could just feel nodules of engorgement. Pretty much it's my boobs filled up with milk, and it was time for me to pump. So while I was pumping at home, I started using a heating pad, because I actually read an article that said that showers, warm hot showers, the steam, the heat just hitting helps release some of that milk. So I was like, hey, if I'm pumping, why not use a heating pad? So I started using the heating pad and using massage to actually work the milk down. And just over the days of doing that, I just noticed that my milk just started to kept going up and up and up and up. And like I said, when I got home, it was probably 4 ounces. And then by the time here we are now, 2 weeks, each pumping session. I don't do every 3 hours strictly now. I'll go like 4 to 5. So I'm pumping at least 6 times a day. I'll get at least 10 to 12 ounces each session now. And I feel like that's a lot. I mean, she's only drinking at maximum 3 ounces per bottle. And she's only eating about 8 to 10 times a day. Sometimes more. I feel like she's been eating more, but so she's nowhere having 60 ounces of breast milk a day. So that's pretty much how I'm able to have such a large supply right now. I make sure I stay hydrated. I use my heating pad when I pump, and I make sure I massage those ducts so that my milk comes out. I don't eat anything special. I think a couple of days I did have some oatmeal, which I hear is really beneficial in milk production. But yeah, those are literally just the main 3 things that I do that I feel have helped me with my supply. I do use the Luna Motif breast pump, and I also use a manual pump sometimes when I just need to do like a little quick release, and I'll use the Haka on the other side. So you moms that are breastfeeding, go ahead and get you that Haka if you haven't already heard about it. It helps catch that let down when you're like manually pumping or breastfeeding on that one side. I'll get at least 2 ounces on the other side when I'm doing that. Also, if you do end up going to the hospital or your plan is to have a hospital birth, make sure you take your pumping bra with you, because I did not have one, and I was sitting there holding the bottles like this, pumping every session, every 3 hours while people are coming in and out of the room, and it was the most annoying thing, but you do what you got to do for your baby. So if you plan on pumping, nursing, whatever it is, make sure you have your pumping bra while you're in the hospital. Right now we are exclusively pumping. We did nurse for a good minute. It was over a week that we nursed, and it was an amazing, I'm over here looking at her. It was an amazing experience. I mean, everything went well. She did end up latching very, very good. There were a couple of times where I was like, oh no, you're off, and I mean, we would figure it right out. But ultimately, I made the decision to exclusively pump now, and it's going great. I mean, she's still getting the nutrients. My wife is able to bond with her, which is what we wanted as well. I knew she was going to be bottle fed, but I thought I was gonna I was gonna still be breastfeeding, but I'm happy with the decision that I made. Like I said, she's still getting those nutrients. My mom is here helping us, so she's able to bond with her through feeding as well. So it just works out for us, and it's going really well. Baby girl is fed and happy, so that's all that matters. So yeah, I just want to, let you all know that what works for me may not work for you all, but I did have some questions on exactly what I've been doing to help increase my milk supply, and that's literally all I've been doing. If you do have any questions, if I missed anything, don't hesitate to let me know. We always like answering you guys' questions. We like talking to y'all. So yeah, just drop them down below, and I hope you all enjoyed this video today, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.